What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here, bringing you another figure unboxing and review. And I guess that's a little off for today because we're not doing a figure unboxing necessarily. We are doing a playset unboxing. And of course today I am talking about one of the biggest playsets of the modern era of toy collecting. And let's just get it out. From the Masters of the Universe Origins line, we have Snake Mountain. Let's talk about it. Snake Mountain. I have been waiting for this playset. Ever since the Origins line came out with Castle Grayskull, I thought to myself, surely, don't call me Shirley, surely Snake Mountain is on the way. And here we are, 2023, year of the Snake Men, and Snake Mountain has arrived. If you haven't already picked it up, it is available on Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and it's supposedly going to be on the shelves for this winter, for the Christmas holiday season. So I can't wait to dive into this. This was my favorite playset growing up with Masters of the Universe when I was a kid. Of course, I had Castle Grayskull, but man, all my big battles took place on Snake Mountain. I mean, from the top of Snake Mountain with the trap door to the sludge pit to using the microphone, man, I just have so many good memories of playing with Snake Mountain, and now as an adult, I get to do it all over again. How about you? Drop a comment below. Let me know. Was Snake Mountain part of your collection growing up? Did you have as much fun with it? Tell me what you did with it. Did Skeletor's team always win? Did He-Man become victorious and overtake Snake Mountain? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like this video as well because I enjoy making this content for you guys, and the like really helps the channel. And yeah, I tell you what, this box is magnificent, so let's just go over right now and start talking about it, and I'm going to do my best to get it to fit in frame because this box is not small. So let's go check it out. Okay, I've gotten this just about as wide as I can get my camera lens to go. I've got most of it in frame. Let me see if I can slide it just a little bit. There we go. Wow, there's a lot going on here. So, first of all, the artwork, once again, just absolutely beautiful. Really harkens back to the classic Snake Mountain box. They've just updated it a little bit, you know, for what they've done with the modern version, for example, with the snake to make it look more like the cartoon version. And of course, they've changed it to Dragon Blaster Skeletor fighting He-Man on the staircase. And of course, we've got, I mean, there's so many things in here. We've got the Snake Men down here, even some Snake Men we don't have yet, like, I'm not sure who that's supposed to be down there. But yeah, look at this. So that's a new Snake Man too. That's really cool. Oh, so much going on. The hidden entrance they have here with King Hiss coming out. Tongue Lasher, Moss Man, Stinkor, Evil Lyn, Webster, Nanny Faces, Chained Up, Buzz Off, the new Skeleton Warriors, Whiplash, Too Bad, and Man-at-Arms, presumably. This is just awesome. Screech over here. Wow, just a lot going on. I actually wound up getting two of these because I do want to keep, much like my Grayskull, I have one in box. I am going to keep one mint in box because it looks so awesome. And of course, up in the corner, you have the new for 23 6 Plus. Now, I'm going to go ahead and spin it around, so bear with me for a minute. And we're really going to get into kind of what we have in the box. So in the box, of course, you're going to have Snake Mountain. You can see the action poses. You can see up here in the corner where we have the cage that can be placed underneath here for them to drop into, shown right here. And of course, you've got the Skeletor's throne and just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Such a great cross-sell. You can see all the figures. And I think at this point, every figure shown on the back right now, we have gotten. Very interesting that they chose this version of Triclops, the Mattel Creations exclusive. But yeah, love the cross-sell. Love that they tried to mirror it to look just like the front of the box, although we don't have Green Goddess and Evil Lyn fighting. But, you know, we still have Many Faces. He's trapped. We have Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Thunder Punch He-Man fighting each other. We got Point Dread over here. So much cool stuff. Wow. Yeah, this is going to be great. So, with that said, we will try to show what's on the top of the box. That might be sort of difficult, but it's more of the same. Kind of just showing you what you can do with the action figure set. So, don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm going to try to get it in frame. So, I'm just going to do this real quick for you. So you can see we've got Stronghold folds and opens for easy play. Striking Snake terrifies all intruders. Coil, Bridge, Scale the Mountain. Acid Pit, Sink Your Foes. Secret Tunnel, Sneak Inside. Stronghold Dungeon, Bind and Hold Prisoners. And Bone Throne, Rule Snake Mountain. So very, very, very cool. But not only that is the box cool, I am sure the playset is cool. So we're going to pause for a moment. I'm going to get everything out of the box and just we'll go from there. Okay, real quick, in case you were curious, this is what it looks like out of the box and just kind of in the set. And I apologize, I'm actually steering this camera like a yoke at the moment to show you. So you can clearly see it was the shape of the box. The inner box is the same shape, and everything was just pushed in here. As soon as I pulled everything out, that stuff fell right down. But you can see they maximize space. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy put all together, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what Snake Mountain looks like, and we'll go through all the playset and exactly what you can do with it. Okay, folks. Now, I know this is a non-conventional way that I shoot these videos, or especially right now. But my Terradrome table was the only place I could get Snake Mountain set up properly to kind of give you the effect of what it looks like and how big it is. I did not have enough room on my shooting table. So, here's Snake Mountain. This is the front of Snake Mountain, obviously. And we're just going to kind of go through it. I do have my trusty Thunder Punch He-Man here to help show us exactly some of what you can do with it. And then, of course, we'll accessorize it here at the end. But we're going to look at the front of it first, just kind of go through it. And again, I'm going to try not to block the camera, but I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of great shots. But let's just jump into it. So, of course, we do have the most prominent feature of this is the snake head. And as far as I know, only this part of the snake head moves, but it is very good. It is articulated, so this is nice. You could actually take Thunder Punch He-Man here and actually have him being caught by the actual snake. So that's very good. Let's see if I can zoom in so you can see that. So yeah, very cool, very cool. So let's take He-Man out of there, and some of the other things, of course, we've got the drawbridge. That's not right. It's just the bridge. It doesn't go up and down. And of course, the figures can fit on it. There are peg holes. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 peg holes that you can use. But honestly, it's such a tight squeeze anyway that you really, really don't need it. So, yeah. And again, just to kind of give you the scale, I don't think it's much bigger than the original Snake Mountain, with the exception of the peak they put on it. But there's where He-Man stands just in regards to the actual... Let me adjust this camera a little bit so you can see the bottom of it better. Just so you can see how he actually compares to Snake Mountain. So it's very large. Of course, another feature is this cool, mouth that was not on the original. And I remember always trying to stuff stuff in the crevice. So it's very nice that they added this. Of course, you can do, suppose you could have it eating He-Man. Not really a lot of room to do a lot with it, but it is kind of cool. I guess what they really want you to do is stand behind it, and if you want to make it look like it's talking, It's a fun feature, right? So, in addition to that, we do have the secret entrance over here, and they've added this weird plasticky, I guess it's more rubbery feature so you can sneak in and out, and of course you can have your hero. It's not overly, What do we want to do here? Let's just try doing this. I guess you can make him, climbing out of it. I wouldn't say it's the most playable feature, but, it's there. So, what else do we have? Of course, we have the iron trap that we can put He-Man in, and we'll demonstrate that real quick. So, of course, it just slides onto the figure's arms. And this is nice because it's very rubbery. Unlike the original, if you recall, it was just like a C-clamp and you just had to snap the wrist into it. This one's more of a rubbery texture. So very cool. Of course, they can just stand right up here, or if you want to make them dangling, you can do that. I apologize that I'm not getting the best shots. It really is a big play set. So hopefully you can see that there, how we have Snake Mountain, He-Man as a prisoner of Snake Mountain. And then I'll spin it back around so we can look at the staircase as well. Hopefully you'll be able to get a good view of that, maybe get a better view of the pit. I will take He-Man out of his shackles and show us, we'll start on the stairs first. So of course there's actually 2 pegs for the steps. You just can't see the other one very well. It's right here. I don't know what exactly you could peg into it. There's also a small opening, almost a rectangular opening right down here. I don't know if it's coming up on camera. You can see it. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be for, but there's a foot peg here, and then there's the more prominent foot peg up here. That, of course, we can put He-Man on if we want to make him try to recreate that scene where he's fighting Skeletor, which is not easy. No issues with the foot pegs. And of course we can put in the power sword. And yeah, he's doing a lot of fancy balancing right now, but you can see that it does indeed work. And yeah, I guess one thing before we go on to the top of the mountain is that it has a lot of the old classic faces in it. There are some new ones though. This one I remember always being in it, I believe. This I believe that one's new. But the rest over here is pretty much the same. So like I said, moving up the mountain, we now have the top of Snake Mountain, which does also have a peg to put He-Man on as he's trying to enter Snake Mountain from up here. And of course we have this gate that does swing open, and you can see, if I can open it up all the way, you can see the grate, maybe not really great from this angle, but there is a trap door right here that you can put He-Man on. And of course, if you just push on it with any amount of force, it does drop. And you can have He-Man, as you can see, just like when we were kids, doesn't fall all the way through unless you just position him correctly. So, that being said, we've kind of looked at the front of it right now, and we'll spin around, we'll look at the back, and we'll kind of go through the plate features on that side. Okay, so we've spun the Snake Mountain around so you can see the interior side of Snake Mountain. And first things first, I've got to report, I'm missing a piece. Yep. I have looked over and over through the boxes, through the inner box, and unless I am just blind, which is a very strong possibility, it could be right in front of me and I don't see it, but I seem to be missing the piece that actually connects right over here. So allow me to move He-Man for a moment. There is a piece of the moat that is supposed to connect in right here. It's an additional piece that stands out. You can see where the 3 holes are, and I'm missing it, which is unfortunate because that is exactly where these characters right here are supposed to plug into. So super bummed about that. You still can plug one of the characters in here. As you can see, the ladder just tipped over a little bit. But super bummed. Let me know in the comments if, for those of you that already have Snake Mountain, did it not come with yours? Was it there? Am I just a fluke? Is it hidden somewhere that I don't know about? I did a really thorough check. I've got the empty box right here. There's definitely, matter of fact, here's the empty box. And I've got all the other pieces to the box right over here, and I've searched over and over, trying to make sure there was nothing in there. I mean, it's a big plastic piece, so it's kind of hard to lose it. So I'm super bummed about that. But we must go on. So, like I said, he does come with, or Snake Mountain rather, does come with these accessories that can plug in. We have this little guy. Very cool, and you can see there's just a plug, and so you can switch them out, and we'll just do that real quick. And then, of course, you got this cool dragon head. It's very cool. And yeah, so the other thing about this was there's supposed to be this piece that comes out, and it has a peg on it as well that will also fit if you want to create the illusion of one of your heroes deep in the swamp or the moat, you can pop them off at the waist and put the waist part on that peg, creating the illusion they've fallen in. But anyway, moving on. As you can see, we have the ladder that many of us had as a kid. I can't remember, was it cast in gray? I feel like it was cast in gray when we were kids. So now they've cast it in kind of a brownish color, brownish tan. And there's 2 holes just down here that it can plug into. And I suppose it can go either way. It looks like it actually can fit either way without much issue. The problem is trying to find a place for it to fit up here. So you can kind of, bow it. It's got a slight curve to it right now, and stick it in these notches. And I guess that's probably the way it's supposed to go. But of course, then you can have He-Man climbing the ladder, which we will illustrate as such. So his hand snaps right on there. Of course, he's just kind of dangling right now, but looks very cool. So I'm glad to see that they've kept that playability factor. So of course, we also have the interior side of that hole that just, you can't really see it too good because of the ladder and the camera angle, I apologize. But there you go, and that's where we always used to have, or at least when I was a kid, I always had He-Man sneaking in that way into Castle Grayskull, or I'm sorry, Snake Mountain, because obviously danger loomed up here. Speaking of danger looming up here, so we've already shown the trap door, but it's important to show that you do get the cage. They replaced it with a cage rather than the old school net that used to be here. And this is cool. So this cage just folds together, snaps, has a top and a bottom. So there you go. There's the top. And you can move it. You can keep it over here underneath this side, is what it shows on the back of the package. But of course, most of us are probably going to keep it right here in some sort of way to make it look like they can fall in. So if we just move the characters out of the way, the little demons in the moat, and we set this up here, I don't really think there's a way for this to actually be set up this way. I thought it would actually fit underneath here pretty easily, but it doesn't look like it does. So let's try it out one more time. So let's take out the power sword. Let's have He-Man, stand up here. Now, back in the day, remind me in the comments, was there a switch to make the door fall? Or no, it was just like a wooden plank, and it was very loosely connected. Now today, this has a lot more, can hold a lot more. There we go. I was about to say, I'm kind of pushing down on it to make it fall. And then, of course, we're supposed to have him drop down into here, I assume, is the play factor. Doesn't really seem to be working. So with a little imagination, He-Man is now captured. And of course, you can just fold this right back up, snaps into place. The door does open, so you can just take He-Man right out or have him burst out of the door. So that's nice. And this is just the same door that's on the front of the mountain. There's no difference. And yeah, so there you go. There's He-Man in the cage. And then, like I said, you can set it over here just to kind of keep it out of the way. And it looks very nice. So, with that being said, we also come with this cool weapons rack. And you do get these accessories. These are the same accessories, rather, that are with the Skeleton Warriors. So you get the exact same weapons cast in the exact same colors, and they just punch right onto this weapons rack. Which I don't know. I think this is a new weapons rack, and I only say that because there's little like femur bones right here that they've cast onto it. So it's pretty cool. I had a really hard time getting this shield to stick, and I'm pretty sure it's going to pop off again. I'm really surprised it's actually holding for the camera, because while I was setting it up, it just kept beep, psh, psh, popping off. So yeah, you do get the weapons rack, which is pretty cool. And if you want to set up straight, you do it like that, and I guess you have to put the sword the correct way, which is, in their case, would be pointing up to actually get it to set proper. So, that being said, we'll move over to the left side of the Snake Mountain. And obviously the first thing you're going to see is Skeletor's Bone Throne, which is very cool because, yes, he can set on it. My apologies to Skeletor. We are going to use He-Man in this case because I don't feel like getting up to go get Skeletor. But that being said, maybe this is Faker. Thunder Punch Faker. So, of course, he can sit right on there, or rather hover right over it. It looks like he's sitting on camera, but if I zoom in, he's actually kind of hovering. So, it does snap right into place. It does block this awesome, remember the computer that was back in there? Let me see if I can get the bone thrown off, because it, there you can see the peg, but I really want you to see the picture, because this is just like the old school, gosh, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I mean, it looked mostly like that, right? Let me zoom in so you can see that. Just at, I mean, it looks super cool. And it just gives off that techno vibe for otherwise a very ancient building. And then, of course, like I said, here's a close-up of the throne. It does have some pretty nice artwork to it. Now, if you remember, the Classics version of Snake Mountain did also come with a bone throne. The original Masters Universe Snake Mountain did not. And, of course, there's that peg that you can just plop it down on. So we'll go ahead and do that once again. Sorry for looking at the back of my head. And then finally, we have a couple little cool features. So one is the head of whatever the rat-looking wolf thing is on top of Snake Mountain. Originally, of course, it was a microphone that kind of made your voice sound scary. You know, like those kitty microphones that just vibrate. And unfortunately, we don't get that with this Snake Mountain. But we do get this cool thing because they did make it. There's a C-clamp that holds it in place. So if you don't know where the C-clamp goes, it just plugs in right here. And then it attaches up here. And in the C-clamp, you add this rubber spider on. That is an additional accessory. And then you can do this, which I think is really cool, because not only does the wolf head spin around, the actual base of it does too, to show that spider. So that's a cool little feature. Maybe not as cool as having the actual original megaphone kind of thing, but you know, they tried. I appreciate it. So we can spin it back around this way. And finally, you have this wooden area with these two extra holes, and I don't know what they're for. No clue. There's nothing that seems to go into it, and there's nothing from the packaging art that I can see that goes into it. So if you know what goes into it, and you can tell me, drop a comment down below, because I have no idea where it goes or what's supposed to be there. You know, and there's holes on this side too. So there's actually, you know, multiple holes, and I have yet to figure out, you know, at first I thought it was the stand, but the stand just can, I mean, it can set up here, but not really sure what's supposed to go in here. And I guess finally we can cover the bottom. There's nothing really other than the sticker set that kind of matches the original with the wooden door, some skulls and bones. And you do get the lever that controls the mouth on the outside. It is down here. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is with Snake Mountain. We'll go ahead. I'll show you how to close it up real quick. You know, if you know how it closes up. It's not that hard, but we'll show it anyway, just in case someone's interested. So you do have to take this out, and I believe you have to take the ladder out as well. Now you could very well put the ladder right here. You could stuff a couple other accessories in there if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and close the door on Snake Mountain. And we're just going to fold it right up. And hopefully, actually we're not going to be able to fold it up because we'd have to spin it around and take off the bridge. So let me pop that off real quick. Or pop it out, rather. Maybe I will. Maybe this might be the shortest closing video because I might not be able to get it done. So we should be able to pop this right out. And there we go. So you can just snap the bridge off, and of course you can close Snake Mountain up, and it does, much like Castle Grayskull, have, oh, maybe you can't. I thought you could actually close this without hitting anything, but, oh yeah, you can, for sure. So you can close it up, and they've made these cool worms. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to zoom in. You can see they've made the hooks like these nasty little worms. It's pretty cool. So that being said, you just simply swing it over. There we go, better. And of course, there you go. You spin it around. You have one half of Snake Mountain. You spin it around the other way. You have the other part of Snake Mountain. So overall, very cool set. Let's take a moment. I will pull over my Castle Grayskull. We'll do a quick comparison of size for scale. And then we'll just finish up final thoughts. Okay, welcome back. Here you can clearly see the difference in scale between the two play sets, and ultimately they are the same size. The only difference being, like I mentioned earlier, the actual extra little bit they put on top of Snake Mountain to make it look more like a peak for the mountain does make it scale up a little bit higher than Castle Grayskull. But otherwise, they are roughly the same dimensions, and they look wonderful just like the originals. So, what do you think? Snake Mountain, Castle Grayskull together again after, if we don't count the classics, after 40 years, they're back together again in the Origins line, and I am just super stoked to have this playset, even though it's missing a piece. Do I have any complaints about this set? No. For what we get at a price tag of $80, I mean, that's a really good deal for this playset. So it honestly makes me wonder when they say they can't do big playsets anymore. My question would be why, and why can't you get the price point down? Because to me, for either one of these playsets, $80 is pretty solid. For what you get with the playset, it's a lot of stuff. Now, yeah, it's a lot of empty plastic with some stuff snapped in, but man, they look wonderful together, don't you think? I'm excited. So now I just have to figure out where I'm going to display them, because currently I have my Castle Grayskull displayed off to the side when you first entered my office, and I had it, folded out. Now I'm not too sure. Oh, pardon me. Got one of these stuck in my throat, feels like. So yeah, even though I'm missing a piece of it, I'm still really glad I got it. Hopefully I can contact Mattel and just get the extra accessory. Or again, if you can drop me a comment and say, hey, Mark, it's in this part that you overlooked, or it was right there the whole time and you didn't see it. Really am not sure where it was at. But I do look forward to getting this all accessorized, getting some figures on it, making just some epic battle scenes. Because as you can see, I've got a lot of He-Man characters over on these shelves, and I really want to set up a cool fight scene. I might completely change my top shelf, which you can't see at the moment, and just have Grayskull and Snake Mountain. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this review. Tell me what you think of Snake Mountain for the Origins line. And just anything else you're thinking of. I love doing these videos. Super excited to get to share this with you today. Otherwise, you know me as Mark. You're watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later.